Round 11. We are here. We have got 7 races left in the 2021 season. It is flying by, but that only means a couple important things. That we are even closer to those grand prizes, Christian. 2 race prep KTM dirt bikes up for grabs. Ooh.
I like that.
A whole lot of other grand prizes that are in the top 10. Plus, you guys know we give away 100 weekly prizes. We're going to talk more about points, but
that top 10, our overall leaderboard in fantasy, it shook up.
Last week it was a tie. Where are we at now? Someone have a good week? I had a good week.
Nick Dougie, 855. I've never even seen him up there. He's leading it all by 1 point right now.
Ooh,
over
see?
Cody, 1018. So I've seen a lot of new names. Montez Lady up here.
Yeah. What's crazy is these people are crushing it. Here we are, 7 rounds left, and the chances of the top 10 being in that, even close to that same order by the end of the year, we could have a whole new top 10.
The double points round changes everything.
When is that one coming up?
Last round.
The last round.
Yep.
Holy smokes. And that one's even harder because if, and I hope not, if the championship is wrapped up by then, you don't know where to put the guy who you don't know where to put a guy like Webb or anything.
Who's gonna?
But you can see, you've got the overall points that are up there. Congrats to those people whooping my butt.
See, like Pup Lover's been up top for a long time.
Speaking of getting your butt whooped, Christian, what's it like when I just smoke you every round right now? I don't remember the last time you beat me this year on a single round.
It's happened, but maybe only one time. I've been picking too much what I want and not what I think.
How are you guys all doing on your points? Let's hear about it. Comment below. How are you doing on points? What's been your best and worst rounds so far this year? I got 56 points last weekend.
Joe Johnson is a liar. Perfect score.
Perfect score, Joe Johnson. Screenshot it and attach to that chat. I want to see that. Come on now.
7 points. You're a Kenny fan, but you don't think you can come back from 7 points? Come on, Miguel.
Well, I just said if, and I hope not. But we talked about it last week. Coop's in his head. I'm sticking to it.
Striving and thriving.
Yes. I don't know. But anyway, look at the results. Webb, Barsha, Anderson, Sexton, and Plessinger, another top 5. Man, that guy's on a roll. Kyle Chisholm, who, hey, we got to take blame here. Well, I do. I said Chisholm was just going to roll around, and he ends up getting the wild card. So
he looked good. He started well, like 17th, fought up to 14th for a while.
Yeah. So. Got all these people so mad at Marv right now for crashing out in the heat race.
Dude, I had Anderson in 5th. I switched him out.
Marv qualified really good, and I'm sure a lot of people put him up there in the top spot, or at least the podium. Austin Monk, 79 points. That is a good round with that top 5.
Did you get a gift card? Let us know.
I had Anderson in there, I had Sexton in there, and Plessinger, and I had all 3 right in the wrong freaking spot. I had Webb right, and that was it. But I still got 56 points.
Did you scream at the TV?
No.
Or did you just, punch your leg or something?
You know what? It was funny because during the race, I couldn't remember exactly my picks. And I was like, I'm not even going to look. I'm just going to look after the race. But anyway, highlights. Let's talk about it real quick. LCQ, last lap.
Dude.
Have you ever seen the top 5 in an LCQ this close before?
No, that was
This is a literal train going down the river. It looks like a sight lap. And Brock Tickle, this poor guy, he's like, I can get in right here. He is going for it.
The veteran move.
Cade Clayson almost doesn't get in. He goes from 1st to 4th in 2 turns. And then Tickle right here just, he felt that one. Poor Tickle. Yeah, that was pretty rough. But anyway, what else here? Cooper versus McAdoo. That was pretty rad watching those guys battle out towards the very end.
Yeah.
McAdoo, props to him. He was crushing it. Incredible he got back around Cooper and then held him off. But then Cooper, after this, we'll see. Pass coming up right here that McAdoo gets back around him, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then Cooper, man, if he didn't slide out the rear wheel in that corner, he was going to pull a Jason Anderson. Well, he was going to make a Mookie attempt that just didn't go good.
Hey, how about Hammaker, though?
Dude,
Rookie.
that kid is the real deal.
Pulling out
His
that win.
second ever Supercross race, and he wins it, leading the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. That is impressive. That kid is going places.
Yep.
If I'm Kawasaki, I'm not letting that kid go. That is for sure. Jeez. How about Wilson, though? Coming out of nowhere.
Dude, I loved it.
Holeshot's the heat race, and then he holeshots the main event.
He was holding Roczen up again, but he was not getting lapped.
No.
He was leading.
He said he got really bad arm pump. This is the main event where he holeshotted twice. So props to him, man. He said he got really bad arm pump and then faded pretty bad.
Getting those starts figured out, though.
But Josh was also stoked on Cade Clayson coming from the very outside. and ripping a gnarly start. Watch it right here.
Moran's.
Oh, Moran's.
Oh, yeah, Moran's.
Highlighted here.
It's like an animal.
Come on. If Moran's can do that from the outside, what are you doing, Tomac? I can't handle this anymore. I have given up all hope on this guy. Like, Webb gifted you a start at freaking Daytona.
I think everybody was like, who is that?
Oh, my gosh,
Man,
dude.
it just shows them how it's done.
And I did it. I showed it again. Webb and Tomac were side by side coming around the first corner, basically.
Yeah.
And look what happens. Webb goes on to win, and Tomac gets 9th place. Or whatever he got.
There's
9th,
no
right?
holes in his
8th?
game, dude. He's just, I don't know. He's hard to beat.
Oh, okay.
Hard to beat right now.
I'm not going to say controversy here because I don't think there is any. Anderson just had the Star Racing Yamaha guys, and he apologized on a text on Instagram. He said he never wants to put somebody on the ground, but he's okay with slamming somebody.
I didn't think that was
What
that
do you guys
bad.
think?
I mean,
Comment below.
what'd you call it? Endurocross.
I don't know. Comment. Do you think Anderson has retribution coming this round?
No.
You don't think so? No. If I'm Ferrandis and I have Anderson in front of me, oh, you bet. Like, you put me in the dirt and you hurt me. I couldn't finish, and then we got Endurocross going over his bike. No, if I'm Ferrandis, I'm ticked. Now, if you're Malcolm Stewart, what do you think about this? Like, banging bars is racing. Thank you. Bam Bam does it. That's right. Look, if you're Malcolm Stewart right here, what are you doing? Jason Anderson got around you, and he barely got into you.
He's letting his emotions get to him.
Yeah, and then he does it. You're in 6th place right now, Malcolm. Like, you can't do this. And you make yourself look like a fool because you just completely swing and miss.
It's hindsight.
And he's lucky he didn't get hurt right there.
I admire on Instagram, though. He was at least, like, making fun of himself. Like, that was the poorest attempt to try and square someone up. So you got to give it to him there.
I'm just saying he was like 5th in the points. I mean, you go from
I know.
6th to 14th.
That's what I'm saying. Malcolm's got stuff to lose here. He's 5th in the points. He's riding in 6th place that night.
Yeah.
You can't let your emotions do that. Frenchie
think he
deserved it.
I think he would agree.
It was Frenchie.
With us,
oh, no. Ferrandis didn't deserve it. Come on. What has he done? Other than take himself out.
What else is going on?
It's
Chisholm?
not.
Can we talk about Chisholm?
Chiz going to chiz? Oh, yeah.
Getting
Look at
creative.
this. That split lane that you had right after the finish, Chisholm transferred it. If you guys didn't see that.
Yeah.
It was illegal, and he got in trouble for it.
Channeling his Kevin Windham.
That was pretty freaking cool. I'd never seen that before.
It looks so smooth.
Oh, I know. Could you imagine riders just cross like that? Would be pretty cool. All right, well, Christian, let's talk about points. Malcolm looked like he was getting thrown out the club. It does. It does kind of look like he got thrown out.
You get a little too hyphy in there.
Malcolm is the 5th place king. Hey.
Yeah, maybe.
He's been good there this year, but hey, you know what? He's getting a good paycheck and he's staying healthy, except for when you do that.
Yeah.
Like the fact he could have easily broken a collarbone or something right there.
It could have ended
that was
way
a slam.
worse. Yeah, no doubt.
All right.
What do we
Points.
got?
Averages were way down.
Oh, yeah.
Average points was 26.59.
Lowest since round 2.
So I feel good about that. I almost doubled the average. No perfect scores, so somebody lied in this feed today, whoever you were, you know it. Let's see. Webb was the most picked rider to win at 40.7%, and he is crushing it. Who has Webb right now to win? Because he is crushing it right now with what, over 60, like close to 70% of people have him picked right now?
Yeah, it's overwhelming, Webb. I'm not picking him to win right now.
Why? Why would you not pick Webb to win right now?
Because
Yeah.
we've seen how hard it is to just keep streaking that long.
He's won 3 out of 4 races. His starts are dialed.
I know. I'm banking on something happening. I mean, Roczen won 3 in a row, too, and then look what happens.
All right. Well, the fact is, I'm over here arguing, but if you look at my sign right here, I've got first-time winner tonight, or in Arlington, so
Who are you thinking right off the bat?
Jason Anderson.
Okay.
He's been getting better each round. Fun fact, we had 7 riders get their best finish of the year so far. What were the riders we had there?
Let's check that out.
We had, I don't even know.
Anderson took 3rd, Sexton 4th, Savachi 7th.
Yeah, he
That's
was on
ripping
Roczen's
right now.
tail.
Yep. Wilson in 9th. Davalos 10th. You got to respect that, too. Freezy 11th. There we go. And Alex Ray 17th.
The Freezy 11 thing kind of surprises me. Like,
I was more surprised by Davalos.
thanks. Yeah, not crashing. Is that what you're surprised
I
by?
mean, a 10th is strong. I didn't expect that.
Well, look, I think Anderson is hungry. I think he's on a roll. And if there's going to be a first-time winner in the next few races, my money's going to be on him. He's the only guy who is being aggressive and is just trying to get to the front. Can't be a nice guy.
I feels like Barsha hasn't won this year, but he has.
See, Sandra.
Right now, that's why I have him in my top
Webb
spot.
is in Roxon's head.
Did we look at the lap chart?
Let's look at it.
Let's check out that lap chart.
Wow, that orange line on top looks pretty good.
Don't go chasing blue waterfalls here with Ferrandis and Stewart, though.
But look, I have a bone to pick right now. These tracks, I'm sorry, I know the Dirtworks guys, they are trying their best, but these tracks are kind of killing me. And the reason I say that is because when you look at the top 5 or 6 guys from lap about 15 or 16, they go 10 laps where nobody changes positions.
Yeah, it's like that every year, though.
I know. I wish they could find a way to make the track a little bit more, I don't know. I just wish we'd see more battling, more Anderson battles like that going on in the end, and just not just like everyone just kind of falling in and then nobody can really make anything happen.
Well,
so
the lanes looked really narrow to me, but I think it ended up being a good thing because you had to force the issue. So it was causing a lot more chaos than I thought.
And they're in Arlington right now, which is just a massive stadium, and I just feel like they're not utilizing as much space as they could. I want to see long rhythm lanes that make it hard to go through without making mistakes. You know, just things that separate the guys a little bit more, but they're also good. I don't know if it's possible these days to make a track where you're going to have real separation amongst the top dudes, except for can we get a real whoop section? Like a long... Last year we were seeing tracks or years before with 13, 14, 15 whoops.
That's true.
The most we've had this year is like 10 or 11. Let's get a whoop section in there.
You're just missing Red Bull straight rhythm, I think.
I am. Carter Burnside. I was having a hard time between Anderson and AP for the win this weekend, but
AP for the win.
No,
Do it
Anderson.
for Dale. Woo!
He can, but I just think Anderson's the next one to go.
Well, speaking of track trends, it looks like they're giving it a lot bigger start.
Much bigger.
This one,
going to be more spread out. It's not going to bunch up nearly as bad around that first left-hand turn.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a little bit better for guys like Tomac who are struggling with starts.
Dude, it looks like just so many turns to me.
But that's what I'm saying. Look how long that stadium is, and look at those rhythm sections.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, make them longer. Give me more 180 turns. I can't handle more 90-degree turns. I can't handle it.
You're going to lose it.
I'm going to lose it because you can't pass. And when was the last time you saw a pass happen on a 90-degree turn? Doesn't happen too
I've
often.
seen a lot of
Thank
people
you.
go down trying to make a pass there.
I don't know. Yeah, thank you, Zach. Where are all the whoops from the RV2 and JS7 era? I want to see them again. I want to see guys that are willing to just put on the line to the whoop section, like Malcolm Stewart when he broke his leg in Phoenix. That was, turned out tragic, but it was a separator, right?
Yeah. It's like, what did we talk about? Or talk to Bowers and Pike. If you don't like the whoops, then jump through them or don't be out there. So
that's true. And also, just real quick, we got a cool guest caller today. We got Mike Alessi. He is going to be calling
in. He's a legend in the game.
Yeah,
forever.
He has been around forever.
So.
He is going to be calling in. He is playing fantasy this year, and he's actually in the top 5,000.
Yeah, he's killing it.
He's actually doing really, really good. So he's going to call in. We're going to talk to him, see what he's been up to, and then talk some fantasy. But as far as injuries go, Adam Cianciarulo, no announcement for him coming back. He's going to be out for a while. Osborne, still out.
Yep.
Okay.
Seems like he's still out. We're going to try to get him to call in on Friday, so make sure to.
Yeah, we have that jersey we're going to be giving away. 7 Deuce is still out. Ferrandis, I haven't heard. I'd imagine he'd be back.
Yeah,
he got back on his bike and rode off.
Muscan's the question mark.
Yeah. Has anyone seen anything on Muscan?
That was scary, dude. They're just following the other riders and then get to him, and he's just laying there.
Yeah.
They didn't even show the crash.
Crash. McElrath, I guess
out late.
He was out with back issues.
Yep.
Don't know what's going on with him.
Back tightened up on the way to Texas, he said, and he had to sit it out.
Frozen Gumwad. Osborne is calling in for the next race. So this Friday, he's calling in for the show, and we're going to announce that jersey and how you're going to win it. Yeah. So stick around. That's coming up soon. And we've got some other goody gumdrops as far as signed jerseys that we're going to be giving away, so you do not want to miss out on those. Chase's handwriting the sign is like my old school teachers. Christian wrote it.
Dude, old school teachers, I am old school.
You wrote it.
I take that as a compliment.
All right. Well, look, let's get into top contenders here. Let's talk about Cooper Webb. Look at this man's last 5 finishes. 1-2, 1-1-2. And it starts 1-2-3-4-3.
I mean, he's right there.
I know I'm taking a gamble on Jason Anderson, but my next pick would be Cooper Webb. Absolutely.
I think he's just going to keep dominating. There's no one going to stop him.
He's just that good, man. I mean, this week with the longer start, you never know because you got a little bit more time to click those gears, but he's just so good.
I don't think anyone has a better chance to win than him right now.
Nobody has been better than Cooper Webb in the first half a lap of the opener where he could be in. I mean, we saw it the race before Daytona. He was like 7th or 8th going down the first start straight, and he ends up winning, and Tomac got 6th.
He gets his work done early.
He's that good. He's also, last time he's qualified 3rd or better, he's won the main event. So that is something. He qualified really good last week.
Well, now he's tied with Roczen for the best average finish, but has a 7-point lead. So
Yeah.
That's how good he is. He can do that somehow.
Hasn't won back-to-back rounds since round 6 and 7 in 2019.
It's been a while.
No, he won back-to-back rounds this year.
Did he?
Yeah, he won the Florida rounds.
Oh, my gosh.
The Orlando rounds, dude. Come on, Christian. What are you trying to give me? False stats here?
Well, before those ones.
Ugh. And he is ahead of Ken Roczen by 7 points. So if you're picking Cooper Webb right now, you're onto something. That's a
I think it's the
no-brainer.
safest pick.
He is crushing it.
I got to make up points, though.
All right, Ken Roczen. Who's putting Kenny for first tonight? I think people are losing faith in this guy. I think Webb's in his head, but not to the point where, I don't know. I really don't. Because 6th place last week wasn't a bad ride with how the track was, because not many guys moved up.
I'm fine if he's in his head. You can fix that. I just hope he's not, like, his body's not starting to, fatigue or have issues or anything like that, because he definitely has not looked the same the last 3 races. Look at his starts. Last 3 starts, 11, 7, 12.
Yeah,
I mean,
something has changed. I mean, he got that, and he crashed in the heat race, which is kind of un-Ken Roczen-like. He made a mistake that was unforced. Regan says Ken's
he might
blowing
be in his
it.
own head at this point.
I don't know, man. It was the
Averaging
boots.
a start of 10th over the last 3 rounds.
I don't know. What do you think?
He has the 4th best average start, 5.9 behind AC, Webb, and Sexton.
Yeah.
Hasn't had 3 straight rounds of 5th or worse since round 5, 6, and 7 in 2019.
Vinny put the Webb's living in Kenny's head rent free. Could be true.
I don't know.
Yeah,
somebody's in there.
Well, I hope that Kenny gets it together. I want to see him. I would love to see Ken win tomorrow or tonight. And I keep saying tomorrow. It's tomorrow. I would love to see Ken win tomorrow, tighten up this championship, because the last 2 rounds are here in Salt Lake City. So, yeah, I'm being selfish, but I want to see a battle royale with the last 2 rounds right here in our backyard.
A lot of people, Michael, Rage, they're all saying Roczen's going to come back and win.
No, he could win tonight or tomorrow. He could win tomorrow. We were doing these shows live the day of the races. I'm confused.
Dude, we're getting old. It's okay.
Gosh,
look at Daniel Moore, though, talking about who we need to be talking about. If Tomac doesn't win tomorrow, it's over.
I hate to break it to you. I think Tomac completely squashed any possible chance of winning this championship. 9th place? Come on. You're over a race back. He has to win out basically every race and then have something bad happen to the 2 top dudes. Ain't going to happen.
What was more surprising? That he started 16th, or at lap 10 he was in 9th?
Tomac?
Yeah.
I know. He moved up 6, 7 positions.
Dude, you need to be way up past that by then.
Bro, I'm going to say it's a little bit of Tomac just not being the Tomac we've known. It's also the track. Savatgy was ahead of him for a lot of the race. He didn't get around him, but that's no knock on Savatgy because he's been riding really good.
Been balling out.
But it's not what you would expect for Tomac.
No, I mean, look at his last 5 finishes, 7-5, 6-1, 8. Wild card this week.
This is his worst year in Supercross probably since 2016.
16th place start. Last round was the worst of this season and since round 6 in 2019. Yeah.
If you were to go back and look at all the Eli Tomac seasons, he's had more wins up to this point, and he's like,
which he can do what he wants to do, but it's making it really hard on us for fantasy. I'll say that.
Not anymore. I didn't put him in my top 5 last week, and look what happened.
It felt crazy. And look what happened. Yeah, who would have guessed that?
I used to be the man back in the day.
JG says Tomac's passing the torch this year. I don't know. I caught wind or heard a rumor that he was going to re-sign a 2-year deal. So I don't know what's going on there.
And who knows what that means too, really.
What about Savatgy for the win? Asked Stan M.
That's awesome. I think he'd need a little help.
Yeah, I just think, I could see him getting a good start run up top, but not quite yet at that level.
Hasn't gotten back-to-back starts out of the top 10 since rounds 1 and 2 last season.
Really? Well,
not looking good.
New year, new Tomac, I guess.
I am a lot higher up on this dude, though.
Who?
Justin Barcia. Let's get into him.
Okay. You think he can win this?
I'm picking him to win.
I thought he was going to win last week, and, I changed it up. I put Webb in there.
I think Webb and Roczen have their own kind of thing going on right now. The points are close. They're focusing on each other. That's when a guy like Barcia, I think, could just step up. And he's been getting great starts. I mean, 2-5, 2-8, 4.
Yeah, they're good. He's gone 2.63 in his last 2.634.
Yeah.
So he's right there. I mean, last week's race was start cross. We've heard it before. So you're staying there's a chance.
He's only started out of the top 5 one time in the last 6 rounds.
Yeah, his starts are good.
That's enough for him to get a win, I feel like.
Yeah, he's finishing 4 spots better than where he qualifies on average. But he's had a couple rounds. Bart's the kind of guy where even if he qualifies like 15th,
don't worry about it. He's
probably still going to be in the top 5. He's got the 5th best starting average, which is kind of surprising, of just 6.4. His average finish is 6.3, but that's with that one race where he got 19th.
The Freezy incident.
Yeah, that's right. It was Freezy.
Still has the most hole shots this season at 4, but he hasn't led laps since round 1. He hasn't won since we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
Can he do it again?
He's won A1 or the first round 3 years in a row and has only won that one race.
Well, look at his starts, what it's getting him. I mean, he only had to pass Ferrandis and Wilson to get to second last round. That's doable, I feel like, for him.
Okay.
So,
all right, Aaron Plessinger. A lot of people high on this guy right now. I had him in my top 5.
I should have.
Some of these comments. Guy Cooper, Barsha's a hurt. I'm picking JB1 just for the hair. All right, Regan.
I'm fine with that.
Well, like Plessinger, his last 5 finishes, 5, 3, 9, 6, 11. But he got that podium. Then he got 5th. He was riding really good. His starts still aren't the greatest, though. He started 10th last week, and then he started 3rd at Daytona. So he still needs to kind of clean it up on the starting line.
I'm just saying, he's fast, and he's making passes. This is a whole new AP. Dude, make it easy on yourself. He probably knows that, but still,
Just got to do it. His average start is, our average finish is about 8, and Malcolm Stewart's barely ahead of him with 7.8, and AP is 7.9.
Well, they have basically the same average finish. They're tied in points. But look at the average starts. AP is 11.1, and Stewart is 8.1. So he's getting a 3 better position start than AP every round on average.
Okay, well, so are you putting AP in your top 5? Comment below who's going to put AP in their top 5. I'll probably put him in there.
I have him in there right now.
With Marv most likely being out, I think he's a good pick for the top 5.
AP in 4th.
All right. All right, let's go to his teammate here, Malcolm Stewart.
What's his last 5 finishes? 4, 9, 7, 5, 14.
Yeah.
Anderson incident. But look at his starts, solid. 6, 10,
they've
5,
been pretty
6,
good.
7.
Okay. But is he a top 5 guy?
I think so. Especially, like you said, Muscan's out.
Yeah.
Anderson
bumps him up a spot.
He's going to be looking for him, I think, a little bit more to just beat him. But
yeah. He's okay. We got to pull up there. Who's going to be your spoiler in the top 5 this week? Mine, I don't know if you call Jason Anderson a spoiler, but he is who I'm going to have in the top 5 on the top spot. Anderson, see that?
I mean, Tomac could have easily been in there.
Tomac could have been in there. It's true. Sexton, I got him right last week. I guessed him in the top 5.
Yeah.
Muscan, if he races, I don't know yet. So
I don't know.
Out of that list right there, Anderson will be my top. I go Plessinger next.
I'm going Plessinger first.
Oh, man, I forgot about Sexton. He's riding good.
Anderson's starts have been a little more inconsistent. I like Plessinger.
Yeah, Anderson's starts have been 8, 9, 13, 12. So he's not getting the best of starts either. Not good enough to win. That's why for him to win this weekend, he's got to rip a good start, like top 3. So I'm really hoping that happens.
He's only made the top 5 when qualifying 1st or 2nd this season.
Really?
So those are only the 2 rounds he's done it.
Oh, man, not making friends out there. That is true. Ooh, does Anderson get taken out by a blue motorcycle this week?
I think they might try some. I don't think they're going to go over the line, though. But
you think so?
For what it's worth, since the series has shifted to the West Coast, look at his average finishes. On the East was 8.67.
The West is
5. So
he's stepping it up.
Over the last few races, he's doing a lot better.
He's finished between 3rd and 8th in every round except for the first round this year. Yeah. So he's right in that 5-spot window, which is kind of surprising.
And even with his better finishes over the last few races, his starts are the same on average. So he's just getting faster, really.
And he hasn't led a lap since 2017, the year he won the championship.
Sounds so weird.
That is weird, man. He is due. I'm telling you, he is due. And I think he's tired of it. He knows he can win. He's just got to go do it. Let's see. Daniel Moore, the reason Anderson didn't do good the first rounds, because he didn't get team fried.
Maybe.
I guess. I don't really know what that means. JG says Payback could put Anderson out of top 5. Just saying. Regan, blue bikes are like blue flags. Move out the way.
Well, Anderson, I mean, he's ran into Muskin. He's ran into Ferrandis, Stewart. I mean, he's not making friends out there.
He's like Justin Barcia. He's been worse than Barcia this year. He's been in more. He's been rubbing more paint than Barcia has all year.
You guys silly? I'm still going to say that.
Hombre just racing. Stop being soft. I agree. I'm not against it. I'm just saying eventually it seems to catch up to you when you're riding like that.
Look at that. See? Anderson, man. I feel good. He's got the most votes right now. He's in my top spot this week.
I'm surprised Sexton.
Let's go.
Nobody's got any love for Sexton over there, huh?
He just hasn't shown like that raw speed.
He looked good last round.
He did. He looked good. And who knows, maybe he would have won that round where he crashed out. Marvin Musquin's a big question mark right now. Obviously, don't put him in your picks until after you watch qualifying to see if he's even in there. But that crash, did not look good.
What did he say? He hit neutral on on-off jump, went over the bar, got a concussion, a few stitches on my arm, and overall really sore body.
Well, if he's concussed, he's not riding. No. Like you're not. I don't think you're allowed to ride the next race.
Get approved in a day or two. No. So.
All right. So Marvin Musquin, we'll skip over him because he is out. But now, let's pause right there because we just talked about really your top guys. Mm-hmm. Let's get Mike Alessi on the phone. Ask him what his secret to success is, and see if we can steal a little bit of that. Now, I'll just ask him what he's up to. Didn't he just get done with the Arena Cross series, right?
Doing Arena Cross, doing some pit bike stuff. He's staying busy.
All right. Mike Alessi. Here we go. Uh-oh.
Hello?
Mike.
What's up, brother?
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good now that I know I was texting your house phone earlier.
Yeah.
I was like talking to Christian. I was like, hey, dude, he didn't answer back. I checked the number.
And out here in the country, it's slim pickings on cell phone service. So. House phone's the way to go.
Right on. Well, hey, man, how's it going? What you been up to? You just finished up the Arena Cross series. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, the Arena Cross series was going good. A lot of seconds and a lot of hole shots, which was good. Riding for the team Babbitt's Monster Energy Kawasaki team was really, really good. The second to last round here in Tampa, we had a little bit of a bike problem, and we didn't really think too much of it on the first night on Saturday. Was still able to salvage a second, but I was hearing a pretty weird like ticking noise in the engine, and the team kind of went through the whole motor and checked it all out, before the next day's racing. And I wasn't convinced that the problem had been solved in the first main event of the second night. Got the whole shot, came to the first turn, and I heard the engine make a weird popping noise. And then right as I came through the whoops, the bike just didn't seem like it had the power.
Interesting.
And basically came out of the next turn and went to hit the rhythm and seat hop triple, and it just didn't have any power. And I'm pretty certain it was either blowing up or it was in the process of blowing up. And I just went into an endo and snapped my wrist. Didn't even crash. Just the way that I nosed into the landing, my wrist went backwards, and unfortunately got a hairline crack in the radius. So
It looked like up until that point, though, you were having fun out there.
I was having a good time. The first round, don't get me wrong, Arena Cross I've never done before. So for me, it was a whole new experience and learning, especially each weekend. But the first round, I got a huge eye-opener when the whoop section was butted up next to a cement wall, and there was no hay bales, nothing. It was okay, this is a lot tighter than maybe I was expecting.
Jeez,
that was a big eye opener. But we got third that weekend, which was still a good salvageable weekend, and then after that we made some adjustments for round two in Texas, and then after that we were basically second place, trying to beat Peters. He was just a tick better, just in little spots in the corners and in the jumps and the trannies. He just was just a little bit quicker, and it showed. He went 20-0, and you got to give him props. He rode really good, and he never had any flaws, any mistakes, and his starts were always right there on point, being like top three. And
He looks solid.
Yeah, it was good. But like I said, I did a lot of learning through this series, and I'm looking forward to next season and coming back and trying to win.
Well, I'm glad to see him back out there. I thought it was cool.
Mike, here's a question for you, and if you're people watching this show, listen up. Give us the secret. You have always been so good at starts. What
he was waiting for it.
If somebody asked you, "Hey, Mike, give me your top 3 tips right now of what has helped you."
Are you asking for a friend?
Asking for a friend.
Sounds like you want to know.
Well, I got a blown out knee right now, but one day, this asking for a friend is going to pay off. So, is there a secret?
I mean, there really isn't a lot of secrets to it. It's. I mean, if you want 3 basic things, I'll tell you straight up. I mean, the first one is you have to have quick reaction.
Okay.
2, you have to be light. Like I know you got to be strong. You got to be, kind of bigger. But at the end of the day, like you see the guys that are getting hole shots, they're the lighter guys, like Super Webb, getting good starts.
Okay.
Little guys, and so obviously that plays a big part of it. And like I said, being quick reaction, quick, hand-eye coordination. That's a huge part of it. And then the third thing is keeping a good technique with your feet, with the finger, keeping your head level, right RPMs. I mean, it's kind of like a little bit of everything, but once you perfect the technique, then you can carry that through. And that's what I've been able to do my whole career.
He's made it like
and
a work of
luckily,
art.
yeah, I mean, it's something that, it doesn't just happen overnight. You have to keep at it and work at it because, everything's evolving with the motorcycles and how much better they're getting. The riders are getting faster. They're getting fitter. Just the speeds are higher and the crashes are gnarlier. So it's just everything's evolving. So you always have to be, willing to accept learning. Even when you're really good at one aspect, you're always trying to get better at your starts. And that's what I've always been able to perfect that.
What about a guy like Tomac who, for whatever reason, he's just never been a good, consistent starter? Like once in a while, he'll get a good start. Have you ever watched him and just kind of picked it apart and thought, yeah, maybe he's not doing this well? Or do you think just some guys are just not I don't know, because Webb on a Yamaha wasn't a good starter, and then he got on a KTM, and now he's up there. Like, yeah. I just don't understand it. It's frustrating. I don't get it.
At the end of the day, like you look at Mike Larocco, who was notorious for getting terrible starts.
Yeah.
But he was always able to come through the pack because he was the Rock. He was the Iron Man. He was gnarly. And kind of in a sense, that's like Eli in today's world. Only difference is Larocco was starting, 10th or 12th, and at least Eli is starting like close to the top 5 or within the top 5.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference. Where, Larocco, he had his work cut out for himself.
Or maybe it's just the tracks this year have just been that much more difficult. Maybe it's the layout, or maybe it's just the riders have stepped up their game, and he's just not able to do what he's done in years past. So maybe it's a combination. I don't know if I'm being too hard on Eli, but I'm telling you what, right now, with this field, you are not going to win a championship starting outside the top 5 every round and then occasionally getting that good start. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, in today's racing, everybody is super close. It's the little stuff, like I just said about the corners, the training, being a little bit lower down in the corners, scrubbing through the finish line. Obviously, the whoops, it's a big part of it too. But it seems like a lot of the guys are jumping the whoops, which is it's kind of weird to see. In years past, you're always skimming them. And for whatever reason, this year, I've seen probably more jumping through the first 10 rounds that we've had than any other season previous to this year. And that just shows that, you have to be even that much more better in the corners, staying down lower, faster to the trannies, getting your feet back onto the pegs out of the corners, and just driving through stuff. And that little 2/10 here, 1/10 there, 3/10 here, it all freaking adds up.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too hard on him. I don't know. But, I mean, he's just crushed it so hard in years past. And then this year, you just wonder, like, what's going on. But it is what it is. You've been playing fantasy, though, and you're crushing it. You're in the top 5,000 right now.
How did we get you playing fantasy? How did that happen?
It's funny because I've never done the RMFantasy before in my life, and this is the first time I'm doing it is this year. And every Saturday night, my wife comes to me just within minutes before the Supercross is starting, and she's like, "What's our picks? What's our picks?" And I'm like, and I'm pretty dang good at picking the guys. See, the thing with me is I'm a racer, so I can watch the practices, and I'm dissecting the way that the riders, to me as a racer, how they look, their intensity, their smoothness, right? And
are
for
you
like
going off practice?
I do everything off of practice. What I see, and I don't really judge by the lap times. Lap times are important, obviously, for gate pick.
Sure.
But to me, as a racer, I watch, like, for instance, like the Hammaker kid in the 250 class, which he did a great job. I'm watching him in press day, and I was just like, whoa, holy moly, this guy is riding next level. And this was just in the press day video I was watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I looked at my wife, and I'm like, watch and see, this kid's going to win tomorrow night. And sure as shit, 24 hours later, he did win. And it was not that he won with his intensity, his speed. It was just the way that I can dissect the rider and how smooth they are. They're getting the power to the ground, staying low in the corners. And the way that he was riding in that press day video, it was like, this guy's going to win. So I watched the practice, and I know Cooper was riding. It just looked effortless in practice. And it was just, to me as a racer, it's like, okay, you know what? This is Eli's night. No one's touching him. And in the main event, he came off the track, and you can see he wasn't even breathing hard, not a drip of sweat coming off his head. It was just like a routine practice day at the Alden Baker factory, just putting in his lap.
Well, that's
an awesome strategy. Honestly, I like that.
I guess I better get a lot better on my dirt bike.
My wife always asks me, "What's our top 5?" And I give her the top 5, and I've nailed like almost every weekend the guy who wins, because I know I just can see who's going to win. But then we never get the second, third, fourth, fifth right. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is the guy that wins, right?
I looked at your picks from last round. You got first right, you got Webb right, and then didn't have anyone else in the top 5 that even finished in the top 5. That's how hard it was.
Nope, but I had the previous weekend Daytona had Tomac, and then the previous weekends before that was Webb, and I just, if I'm going to pick the right one, it might as well be
the most
first
points,
place one.
Jeez.
Well, you've had like 100-point round, and he's done really good. He's in like the top 5,000.
I know.
Yeah, there was one round. I think it was one of the Indianapolis's, and I got 1 through 5 all correct, which was
what does that feel like?
But but the biggest one, from what I've been told, is first, and the wild card is the most important point.
Yeah, that's 26 each. That's the banger right there.
And then, of course, my buddy Vince Freeze on the Smart Top Bullfrog Spas team, I'm like, man, he's been hovering right there around 13, 14, 15. I'm like, we'll pick Vince for 15. And then he goes out there and gets 11th. Almost the top. Thanks for letting me down, bud.
I'm just listening to this over here. I'm chilling.
You're mad at him for doing better than where we picked him.
What I hope one day is we can do points for if you predict the Holeshot.
That'd be cool.
And then, Mike, we just need you to come back.
That's what we really
Holeshot, and then you don't even have to finish. You just Holeshot it, and your job is done, and fantasy will crush it.
So awesome. You guys want to hear some funny facts, and this is, you can post it, whatever you want to do.
All right.
So Dean Wilson, right? He's been struggling on his starts, right?
Yep.
He hits me up on Instagram. He's like, Mike, hey, I need help with my starts. Come down to Dade City. I'll pay you.
No.
Help me with
this is
start.
the secret.
No. And he didn't give you a shout out? Continue.
Well, I didn't help him because I told him, I'm like, hey, honestly, like, I'm only really good on the dirt starts because it's technique. With the grade starts, it's a little bit more fair to everybody. You take the technique out of it.
Mm-hmm.
With the grade, it's just, the right amount of gas and all that kind of stuff. But I told him, hey, I wish I could help you, but I don't have a lot of experience on the grade starts because those were implemented when I was pretty much done racing Supercross.
Okay.
So I told him, hey, I can't help you. And then I wrote him on Saturday night. I'm like, I guess you really didn't need my help. And he's yeah, thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
Just talking to you was enough. It's rubbed off on him.
And you know what? Now that he just ripped those 2 hole shots, watch, he's probably going to start top 5 a lot more. I think mentally, it's like Plessinger. I think once you've done something once or twice, and then
confidence.
Mentally you believe it, you're like, all right, that wasn't so bad, and he'll start doing it more. I bet you.
Yep.
I say it all the time. I mean, all the riders are physically in shape. Don't get me wrong; they're all in good shape. When it comes down to the nitty gritty, and that's where Webb is really, really good in killing these guys, is his mental. He is mentally like, I ain't taking no, SHIT. I'm not taking it from these guys.
Yeah.
And if I want a position, I'm going to go take it, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, he has that attitude, like, I'm going to the gate. I'm the best. I'm going to win. And he does it.
Yeah.
And that's why he's got the red plate. And he just, whatever he crawled back from, I think it was close to 20 points behind Kenny just a few races ago, and now he's the points leader.
Do you remember Roczen in 2016 on the Suzuki when he was just, it didn't matter where he started on the first lap, he would be in first by the end of lap 1 in outdoors? That's
Yep,
what. That's what.
amazing. It was the Millville Moto 2 where he was like buried.
Oh, buried.
And he blitzed through the group like in the first lap.
Just stood up on the foot pegs, probably in third gear, and never sat down and was like, all right, I'm going to win.
Yep.
That's what I feel about Webb right now is Webb is, I feel like he's being so crafty because there's been several races where him and Tomac have been in the same position on the first rhythm section. Webb wins. Tomac gets outside the top 5.
Yeah, just little moves
Just
pay off.
he's a crafty racer, man. It's hard to beat that.
Well, at the end of the day, like he's putting himself in position, getting good starts.
Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't get a good start, like this past weekend, he was second, right? He immediately, the second turn, he was not, like I said, about his mentality. He's not effing around. He just got rid of Wilson really quickly, and he just set off and won the race.
Yep.
And that's the mental mindset that he has. And right now, over these guys that he's racing, it's more mental than it is physical to me, honestly. And I've been doing this a long time. Been racing pro since 2004, and it's like I see the mindset that he is in and his attitude. And dude, it's gonna be hard to stop him. You know, for Kenny, I love Kenny. He's a good dude. He's got a great bike, great team. But at the end of the day, like, you know, that is a big aspect of this championship is the mental. And I know Kenny is super mentally strong with his arms and, you know, the injuries that he has had. Don't get me wrong. It's the mental when you're in the combat situation. Webb's going to win. And I feel like he's going to win every time.
Right on.
It's ruthless.
So, all right, Mike, well, before we let you go, I know you're going to watch qualifying and probably change things totally up, but at least give us your podium right now. If you have to do it right now.
You're talking about for
fantasy.
Dallas too?
Yeah, for Arlington 2 coming up.
Well, you have to look at momentum, right? The big Mo,
Okay.
right? Who has it? That's Cooper.
like
So
that,
you
the
know
big Mo.
he's going to be first or second. If Eli is going to bounce back and Kenny's going to bounce back this weekend, Rich, I feel like they have to have a big bounce back because the championship is starting to get out of hand for Eli.
Mhm.
It's starting to slip away, right? So he needs to have a big bounce back weekend. So realistically, I'm looking at possibly Eli winning, Kenny second, and probably Webb third.
Okay.
All right, boys, prepare to be dazzled.
All right,
I'm
Mike.
taking
well,
his advice. He's
we
got
are,
like
we are
triple
going
my
to see,
score.
but I'm going to look at your. I don't know. You need
And a
to.
heads up, you guys need to start thinking about doing a 250 fantasy because, man, I would have crushed it last week with that Seth Hamilton kid.
Well,
That
right
would have
now-
been
It's
that would have been
talked
one where
about.
I would have knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, though.
It's kind of funny.
Go
It's
ahead.
kind of funny too. Now that we're talking about Seth Hammaker, so his first career Supercross win, great for him. So it was 2018 Tampa Supercross, and I was doing the race day live with Daniel Blair and the guys up there and Jim Hawley,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Who are your picks tonight?" And I'm like, "You know what?" And I would just watch practice. I said, Austin Faulkner is going to win the 250 in his first career win tonight, and Eli Tomac's going to win the 450. And watch and see if it doesn't happen. And sure as shit, that's what the main event was.
All
Austin
right.
Faulkner got his first ever career win.
He's like the Oracle. I like it.
And Daniel Blair and Jim Hawley didn't pick him for the win that night. So it's just a racer's intuition and just the insight that I feel like I something that I can see that other people don't see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It's going to lead him to that
will
bike
you
here
post
soon.
your picks on Instagram like 10 minutes before the night show for me? let's take a quick
Help us
look.
out, please.
Hey, if you look at our login from this past weekend, it was like 2 minutes before the time was up. We did it very last minute.
I like
All
that
right.
strategy.
I like it. Don't let the competition see. Well, hey, Mike, we appreciate you calling in. It was good to hear from you. You're crushing it in fantasy.
Yep.
So, yeah, let's see how your picks are this weekend and how you do. But glad to see you're doing all right, recovering from the broken wrist, and hopefully we'll hear back from you maybe another time this year. Stay
Yeah.
in the top that 5,000.
Thanks. I appreciate it. You guys have a good rest of your night, and thanks to all the listeners tuning in. And should be a great race tomorrow night.
Right on, man. We'll
Thanks,
talk
Mike.
soon.
See you guys.
See ya. I like that. A little different
guy-
insight. As a racer, he's doing good. And
It's like a wealth of knowledge and
It is.
experience in this industry.
all right, well, we're going to have to blaze through. Let's get to wild card here. Wild card is 8th place. I know we got some spoilers in there, but let's jump to wild card here.
8th is tough where you almost got to just rank
'Cause the
them.
8th is like a possible spoiler.
Yeah, at this point. I mean, Sexton, do you put him in the wild card, yes or no?
No, I think he's better than wild card. I think Sexton, I don't have him in my top 5 right now, but holy cow, he could easily be back up there again. He just got 4th. Come on. I mean, he could be there.
I agree. He's better in 8th place right now for me just because of his starts.
Okay, I wouldn't put him in 8th place, but Dylan Ferrandis has the speed to be on the podium, but he's taken 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th this season. He's just been having some bad luck all year. This guy is just, whether it's Anderson putting him on the dirt or
Where do you rank him, like your own power rankings? Is he ahead or behind 8th place for you right now?
pending no crashes, I'd say he's a better than 8th place, but his starts have been atrocious.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't think he's a bad pick for 8th place just based off of what we've seen.
I mean, he's taken
coming up.
6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th this year already.
Michael McCarthy, you're on to something because I also have Joey Savacci in my wild card right now. Dean Wilson will be a good one. He just had his Wilson just had his season best of, what did he get? 11th?
Yeah. Yep. 11th.
But he got really bad arm pump. If his starts continue to be good, I could see Dean Wilson if you want to be a little bit more risky as an 8th place guy, even though he hasn't consistently been up there in that spot.
I mean, I'm not going to pick him as of right now, but I'm not going to say it can't happen.
Oh,
I just think it's a lower chance.
Oh, he got 9. So his last 4 finishes are 9, 10, 12, 12.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take, I mean, Muscan is out, so that bumps him up maybe a spot for sure.
Well,
So
and
maybe he is right there. He's
he
got
got
some
the whole
confidence.
shot that 3rd place start, but look before it was 15.
Tomac
18,
for the
18.
wild card.
He took 8th last round, so it's not as crazy as it sounds.
Okay, sounds good. All right, what about
Creighton.
JB10, your boy?
He's my
Coming
guy.
back
I
from
like
injury, he
Creighton.
got 13th.
Yeah, I was better than I thought he'd do.
But they talked about it in the broadcast that up to that race, he'd only been doing like half the time on like at the practice track, and
Yeah.
100%. He's just not.
His age catching up.
No, he's just banged up, man. He took a digger. I just don't think he's physically able to race at a 8th place pace right now.
I don't think it's impossible, like I said, with Wilson, but it's a longer stretch. I mean, his average finish 11.13 this season. So
Yeah.
I think Joey Savacci, whoever brought that up, that's getting a little more hot to me.
Tomac for the wild
Hotter.
card. I just choked on my coffee. All right, Joey Savacci, look at this. Last 7 finishes, 7, 12, 16, 13. Those weren't great, but then 9, 8, 8. So he's been within one spot of 8th 4 times.
Yeah, recently. I mean, not too long ago.
Okay, so that's good.
On average, what is he finishing a little over half a position better than where he qualifies?
His starts are getting better.
Look at that. Started in the top 10 in 4 out of the 10 rounds this season. He's been to every round.
He
too.
feels like a good 8th place to me.
This is what I saw. He's only
What?
12 points behind 9th place overall. Like, if he gets another 7th, 8th place finish, he's moving up the overall leaderboard. He can make big jumps, too, so
All
that's
right.
got to motivate that guy.
Look, poll right here. Pick. Who do you have for your wild card? Justin Brayton, Dylan Ferrandis, Wilson, Savacci, Plessinger, or do you have somebody else? If you do have somebody else, vote it, but then comment below and let us know who that rider is. Let's see here. Tomac equal. Come on, he's not washed up. He's just having a rough year.
No, definitely not washed up.
Tomac for the wild card. Mookie Fever wild card. Do you think Malcolm Stewart's a wild card guy?
I'm not going to lie to you. I have Malcolm in my wild card.
Right now you do?
Right now I do.
I think that's not giving him enough credit with how he's been riding.
I don't know. It just, his name popped up when I thought about it.
Look
so.
at that. A lot of votes for Savacci coming in already.
What about your boy Bogle? He's been just killing it lately. Doing a lot better. Last 4 finishes, 12, 9, 10. Starts, 15, 10, 10. So not that great.
Starts not that great. I
He
mean,
got his best finish last round.
Yeah, 9th. He could do it. I think he's going to need a little bit of help.
If he pulls a top 7, 8 start, it's really going to be possible, I think.
5, around 5th.
5, okay.
I'd say around a 5th, 6th place start, he could end up somewhere around 8th place. But he has been riding better, so it wouldn't surprise me. I just see Savacci more as a solid bet for at least top 10 guy right now.
Yeah. I agree. They're getting close, though. Both those guys.
Look at that. We've got a lot of others in there. Who was it?
What about on Bogle,
Malcolm
too?
Stewart, Dean. Ooh, Dino, wild card. There's a lot of Malcolm Stewarts in here.
I'm picking Malcolm.
Cole Burnett put Anderson.
If Osborne was out there, I hate to say it, he
Sexton?
took 8th a bunch of times too, so I had to move to Stewart. But look at Bogle, though. Finished exactly 2 spots better than where he's qualified in the last 2 rounds. So see where he qualifies. It matters with him.
Chillin said if Tomac were playing hockey, he'd be benched. I don't think I respectfully disagree in a very strong way about that statement.
He got the 16th place start. He took 8th last round, but he could easily win tomorrow.
He's already won. He's won 2. You're not going to have a 2-time winner benched.
Yeah.
He's like.
We can't be so.
We're being really hard. He's just not the Tomac we saw last year, but he's still one of the top 5 fastest dudes out there.
He could win the next round, and then everybody will be back on that train.
I am surprised. We have more votes for other than anything else that we have up there.
Because they're wanting Stewart, dude.
We just didn't give the people what they wanted in the poll, I guess.
A lot of Savachi love, too, though.
Tomac. Savachi 6th? Well, that doesn't do anybody any good in fantasy.
I like Bill. Bill puts it easy. ET3 had an off night. I agree with that.
All
That's
right,
not
Bill.
Normal. He just had an off night. He could come back this week.
Cole Seeley comes back tomorrow and gets a wild card. Pretty cool. All right, let's talk about it. Join our group. You can join our Discord channel to bench race through the week during the races. Link is in the description of this video.
It's getting close to 1,000 people in that group.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So, pretty big.
If you haven't yet, you want to join the RMFantasySX group on the fantasy page because we're giving away a signed Osborne jersey very shortly, and you've got to be in the group if you want to have a chance to win it, so don't miss out on that. And before we talk about some grand prizes, Christian, let's lock them in.
You want to go over your top 5s?
I do right now. First of all, well, did the poll finish out, Josh, with other?
We got 50%.
I'm
had
taking
other. Savachi got 25%. Wilson 20. Ferrandis got 1 vote.
I'm taking that as a Stewart.
All right. Well, let's switch it up a little bit. Jay Prowse, man behind the camera. Who is your top 5 this week?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot.
I just did it.
Man, I think Webb keeps it going. Even though I would love to see Tomac or Roczen start tightening up that championship. I think Kenny bounces back, probably gets second. I would like to see Anderson get up into the top 3 again. And then probably Tomac and, probably Plessinger.
No Sexton.
Why you always don't make the man second guess himself? Just let him lock him in.
Well, it's easy to say your top 5. It's harder to defend who you left out.
Josh, who is your wild card?
Wild card, Savachi's he's a good one, but I tend to not go with the obvious one, which hasn't been paying off. But I think Ferrandis.
Okay.
I like
all
that.
right. My picks. Jason Anderson.
To win.
I vow right now to not change it. I won't do it. Jason Anderson, Cooper Webb, Ken Roczen, and then I have Eli Tomac and Plessinger in the same spots as Josh does. And then right now I have Joey Savachi's wild card.
Okay. I got Barsha to win. He's got to win again. My gosh, I'm tired of this first round hype, dude. Put that thing to bed. Get a win tomorrow.
All right.
Ken Roczen second because he's got to make a statement at this point. It's falling away quick. Cooper Webb third because you just know he's always going to be up there. Not as much pressure on him now.
Okay.
4th place, Plessinger. The man's just hot right now. He's so hot right now. Eli Tomac, 5th place.
Josh, did you hear that?
He's just so
He's hot right now. He's just so hot right now.
He is.
Do it for Dale. Woo!
The man's hot right now. Going Zoolander on
Sounds like you have a crush on the guy.
I was going more Zoolander on it, but
Maybe we'll add a soundbite of that for next week.
Bromance?
He's so hot right now.
And Malcolm Stewart in 8th. I don't know. It just popped in my head when I thought about 8th. I don't know if I even like it or not, but that's what I picked.
All right. There you have it. So it sounds like Josh is being the only logical person out of the group right now. All right. That's what happened.
I did see a comment, though, we're sleeping on Barsha, and I totally forgot to put Barsha in there, and he's always getting good starts.
know.
So
I got him to win.
We'll see.
I don't have him in my top 5
Martial
either.
law.
All right.
Martial
Well,
law, baby.
let's talk about some prizes real quick so we can let these people go enjoy their Monday evening, get ready for some racing tomorrow. Grand prizes. Let's see. KTM 450 SXF Factory Edition. I'm excited. Look at that.
Full opera,
Second
dude.
place, you get a 250 SX. 2 strokes.
That's awesome.
Third place, we got Dunlop MX33 tires for a year. We've got a $2,500 spending spree to Rocky Mountain. A lot of cool things you can buy with that. Alpine Stars casual gear spending spree. Tusk Megabyte tires and wheel kit. Milestone video game, Supercross for the game, 4K HDR TV and console. Fly Racing Gear Package, Stay 6 Stability Cycle and Accessories, Motion Pro Tools Prize Pack. I should be one of those voiceovers for commercials.
You get on Voice Talent now and do your thing.
Yes.
Hey, I like what Asa Martinez said. Everyone hates Mondays. Keep the live going.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like it. I like that.
Okay. Christian,
What
weekly?
do we got for weeklies? Top scorers this week are going to get a Shoei VFX Evo helmet.
Okay.
That's huge. A Charities $400 spending spree, Troy Lee gear hookup, OGO wheeled gear bag, Fox gear set, Bridgestone tires, Rhino Power Essentials, FMF casual spending spree, Bell MX9 MIPS helmet, and Fly Racing Hydro Pack with extra bladder. So,
all right.
And of course, $10 Rocky Mountain gift cards. So a lot up for grabs.
All right. Someone asked when the double points. Robert M. is going to be the last round of the season. That's going to be a good
yourself.
one. Prepare yourself.
Hedge. Try to hedge now by getting your points.
All right. Come on, y'all. Get a shop in Washington.
We do have a
I wanna
shop
work
in
for-
Washington.
What?
Washington, Utah.
That is true. Got him.
Washington, Utah, right there by St. George's.
All right. Well, look, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We have a blast bench racing with you, talking about all the racing. Mike Alessi was a great caller.
That was
enjoyed
awesome.
that.
I bet I would like to just hear stories that guy has at this point.
He's got a lot of them. I think he raced with Villapoto and Stu.
He's raced with everyone.
He's raced with everyone. Like, he is raced with the all-time greats. Like, that guy has got some freaking stories to tell. But anyway, pretty cool. If you have questions or comments, you can comment after this video is over. It's going to be it's going to be totally relevant till after the races, of course. But we still want to comment and hear what you guys are thinking. So do that.
Yep. Hit us up on the socials, the Discord.
Comment, tag us, tell us what your posts or your picks are. Record some crazy, weird event that somebody has.
Let us know your rituals and your groups and how you all get together to watch the races and scream about your picks. Also, everyone needs to hit up Mike Alessi here before the timer runs out.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to see what he's doing.
All right. Well, look. Thank you so much for watching. Get your picks in. Go sign up if you have not yet. Tell your wife, tell your kids, tell your friends, cousins, nephews, I don't care. Tell them they need to be playing in your group and ours. And as always, thank you for watching. Good luck on your picks, and we'll see you next time.